everybody, and welcome back to Book Bliss and Chicks. My name is Ashley, and this is Courtney.
Hello.
So today we'll be doing our April wrap-up. We'll be discussing everything we've read in the last month, and we'll be giving you guys like all of our high recommendations and everything we loved and everything we hated. So without further ado, I'm going to give you guys a little disclaimer, and then we'll get into it. So today's episode's disclaimer is one, obviously there are spoilers. We are going to spoil anything that we've read. We are going to tell you guys everything that we liked about the book, the characters, the plot, or anything like that. So if you have not read anything in our list, you might want to skip forward when we bring it up. You might want to just skip that little part. The second thing is, just because we don't like something doesn't mean that you guys don't have to like something. So don't give any hate, not to us, not to the author, not to anybody who might like those books, or any TikTokers whatsoever, or Bookstagrammers, or whatever. So with that being said, please be kind to everybody. Thank you. We love you. So Courtney, let's start.
Okay.
How many books did you read in the month of April?
I read 7 books.
7 books. That's good.
7 books, yep. And it totaled up to 2,741 pages.
That's a lot of pages.
Yeah.
I read 13 books.
Nice.
It totaled out to 5,599 pages. But I read through Apple Books, so Apple Books is much bigger. I don't know how to word this. The book is bigger because the page is smaller. The margins are smaller.
Of it,
it's much smaller.
Yeah.
So I read 5,599 pages, but in reality, it's probably close to yours.
Yeah.
A lot of mine were novellas too, so it was probably a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So don't be discouraged. What was your goal for April?
My goal was 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So I normally have a goal of about 5 books.
Yeah.
Just so I don't feel overwhelmed going into the month.
Yeah. My original goal is also 5, but this month I did 6 because I did so bad in March and February where I was like, gotta get it together. So it was 6 and I read 13. Okay. I doubled it.
I'm hoping May is gonna be my heavy hitter month. I'm hoping.
It better be, because I know we're going on vacation June, July. So we're like,
I know, I gotta get my reading in.
Yeah. It's gonna be a doozy those 2 months. So what were some of the titles that you read?
So, I have the books that we read together. So we read Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and then we read Sin to You and Miss Sin.
Amazing.
And then I read Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, Lotus by Jennifer Hartman, and then I listened to Sugar Daddies by Jade West.
Okay.
Yeah. Which
one was your least liked?
My least liked was Sugar Daddies.
Sugar Daddies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it was because I listened to it or it was because I read a book in March that was very, very similar to it. It had the same dynamic, and I liked that book a lot better than this one. So, yeah.
What kind of format were like all of your books read in? So Apple, Kindle?
So I read the ones for Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire were physical, and then 4 of them, so the Sin series, and then also Still Beating and Lotus were all Kindle, and then Sugar Daddies was audio.
Okay. And then out of my books, I read Beautiful Disaster and the novella that goes after that called Miss Maddox. I read those on Apple. That's why the pages are so big. And then I read The Ice Planet Honeymoon, that's connected to the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I read 1 through 4. Yay. Those were on Kindle.
As if they needed to be 4 novellas.
Yeah, they could have just been 1 novella.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I read Crown of Midnight physical. I read Sin 2 and Miss Sin on Kindle. And then I read Harry Potter 3. So amazing. For my first time reading Harry Potter. So amazing. Loved it. That was also Apple. So that is why. Like the book is like this big, but the Apple book is 1,100 pages. So I read Walking Disaster, also on Apple. That is huge. And then I listened to The Revenge of 7.
Okay.
And then the physical book of The Heir of Fire.
Okay.
It was a
mix, yeah.
It's a little, didn't have no darker twisty things. I need to add some to my next month, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into our favorites. What was your favorite genre?
My favorite genre was romance, I guess you would call it.
Mhm.
Like romance. I don't know if our books really like teeter on dark romance. Like I feel like they're more romance than dark romance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put romance for sure.
Okay.
What about you?
Um, I really only read the two genres, fantasy and
Yeah.
romance. So it
Yeah.
was kind of hard to pick, so I just picked one of each.
Okay.
So my romance one was Sin 2, and then my
Yep.
fantasy one was The Revenge of Seven.
Okay. Yeah.
What was your favorite author?
So I put Jennifer Hartman. I just discovered her this month, and I devoured the two books that she read or that she wrote that I read this month.
Yeah.
So I put her, and then obviously S.J. Tilly was a close second with the Sin series.
Ugh, SJ, you do
Yeah,
things, okay? You
love
do
her.
magical things.
Love her.
My favorite author was S.J. Tilly
Okay.
because
Because
Angelo.
need to
Angelo's
say
book.
more. Yeah. Yep.
Made me do the little feet kick. But followed closely by Pittacus lore.
Okay. Yeah.
The I Am Number 4 series has been one of my favorites my whole life. So
Yeah. It's always gonna be up there.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
this one was so like emotional though. But we'll get into it when
Yeah,
we talk
yeah,
about the
yeah.
books. And
Yep.
then your favorite protagonist
So mine was Oliver Lynch
from
from Lotus by
okay.
Jennifer Hartman. Um yeah, he's just like so pure. His soul is so pure. I loved him so much. The love that him and the main character had together were so great. So yeah, definitely him.
Would
Oliver
you
Lynch.
if there was an Oliver Lynch in real life, would you date him?
See, so like I feel like there's different types of book boyfriends.
Mhm.
There's like the book boyfriends that you want to be with,
Yeah.
and then there's like the book boyfriends that you love them so much, but
Yeah.
you love the character that they're with. That it's like if he existed but wasn't Oliver Lynch, yes.
Yeah.
But if it was Oliver Lynch, like I couldn't do that to Sydney. You know what I mean? Like I
Aw.
couldn't do that to the other main character because their love was just like so amazing. So
It's happily ever after.
yeah, it was
It's
a
an
very
HEA, yeah.
happy, a very happy life ever
That's
after.
cute.
You know? So
Mine was Angelo. I love him.
I know.
Excuse me.
See, that's the thing. Like, I loved Beth, but like, if Angelo was in real life,
I'd
in
date
a second,
Angelo. In a
in a
second.
second,
In a
like,
if he was
no
like,
question.
I'm leaving my wife and I want to be with you, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, Beth.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Take my
Yep.
money. I want
Yep.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then who did you have any like heroes that was your favorite?
Not really. I think honestly, my only hero from most of my stories is Selena and Air of Fire. Just kind of like
Dimmed it.
yeah, I just love her last month with Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
But and Crown of Midnight was good, but I feel like Air of Fire really kind of put the fire out. You know what I mean?
So at the end of the book, it was so
it
much
was so good.
like the 150 pages at the end were so good, and that's where you're like, yeah,
right.
But the other 400 fucking pages,
the other 400 pages you have to read to get to it. It was just like,
no.
Yeah. So not really.
My favorite hero actually happened to be in Pittacus Lore's The Revenge of Seven.
Mm-hmm.
It was Marina. It is her book. It's The Revenge of Seven. She's 7. It's her book.
Yeah.
What she has to go through after like her boyfriend dies in the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
Lord.
Loved her.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite antagonist.
So again, like mine don't really have a lot of like hero villain type things. But I did put the Men of like the Throne of Glass series, like Rowan. Yeah. You know, because he was kind of like
kind of a douche,
grumpy and douchey, and yeah. Like so, but I like I already know I'm gonna love him. And then Adion, I think that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Her cousin. Yeah. So again, like he comes in and he's kind of like, you think he's gonna be a douche again, and then he kind of like
I loved him.
wiggles his heart in there, wiggles himself in my heart, and so yeah.
I love them too.
I put them.
I agree. Those are the best antagonists.
Yeah.
I did have a villain though, because just based off of the books I have.
Right.
My favorite villain is also from The Revenge of Seven. Cedric is Raw's power is He's what Voldemort should have been, okay?
Right.
He's so strong,
Mm-hmm.
and like, bruh, he's taking these kids out one after the other after the other. Out of the 10,
Yeah.
like Lorians left, he's killed 4 of them, or he's
Yeah.
killed 3 of them, and one of the Lorians killed another Lorian, but
Yeah.
he
Let's
got
keep
someone to
going,
do his dirty
baby.
work. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got one of the Lorians to flip on all of the rest of them. So it was just like,
Damn.
that's power.
Yeah.
That's a villain.
Yeah.
So he's up there.
Yeah.
Um,
That's valid.
what was your longest book you read this month?
Longest book was Air of Fire. Came in at 562 pages.
Oh,
Could have been
562
like 300
pages of torture.
Yeah.
It's
Could have
like
been
pulling teeth.
Yeah. Could have been cut in half. If it was cut in half, I think that book would have
Excellent.
Whew,
Keep
yeah.
the last 150 pages.
Yeah.
And the rest of the book cut in half.
Right, exactly.
It could have been.
We don't need all the filler. We don't need
350 pages.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Mm-hmm.
And my worry now is that this is one of the smaller books.
I know.
And we have a tandem read left.
We're about to get into the big books.
Yeah.
So.
Ugh. And we're not hearing great things about
I
them
know.
so far.
I haven't seen a whole lot of good thoughts.
It's pretty scary. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous.
My longest book was actually Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, just because of Apple.
Yeah.
And I do count them that way. I don't count them towards the physical book because I scroll, okay? My little finger does move 1,100 times. And that was my longest amount was 1,100.
Yeah.
It was 1,132 little pages of scrolling. So
yeah,
I read them all.
That's a lot.
It counts.
Yeah.
So that was my longest.
So what was your least liked?
My least liked was the Ice Planet Honeymoon series.
That's valid.
There's no reason why I have 4 whole novellas for 4 couples' honeymoons.
Right.
That could be an epilogue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it ranges from 40 to 50 pages of, oh, let's plan to go on a honeymoon. Then they go on the honeymoon. Then they got to go back to their normal lives. First of all, then just give me the honeymoon. I don't need you to plan the honeymoon.
I don't need to hear the planning. I don't need to hear the travel to and from.
Yeah.
Unless it's like really important to the plot.
It wasn't.
It normally isn't. Yeah.
It wasn't.
Then like I don't need to hear about it. I didn't. Care.
Yeah. And then like to see them go back to their normal lives after when they're also like their characters are in the rest of the series and we're gonna hear about them anyway. Please be so fucking for real.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. It kind of just was like a waste of time.
Could have been epilogues.
Yeah. It was an easy 170 pages.
Right.
But was it?
Yeah.
Because it was kind of torture. And I could have done the audio because it had like all of the 4 in one book and one audio. But either way, it was just like, I didn't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go back.
I feel that.
It kind of was like what broke the camel's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been telling her for like the last year and some change that this is the hardest series I've ever had to read, and there being 21 books.
Yeah.
And novellas in between every single book. I give up.
I know. Seeing that length of books is kind of crazy.
And then this series, Ice Planet Barbarian, connects to all of her other series.
Yeah.
So it's like if I read this, and there's like a timeline of which you have to read them in this order. So it's like 21 books for Ice Planet Barbarian, and then there's 20 books for the next one, and 10 for the next one, and 19 for the next one, and 17 for the one after that. And you have to read them in order, so you have to flop from one to the next, to the next, to the next, with all of these novellas in the mix. It's like, and I didn't sign up for 200 books.
You already know, like, the variety at some point is gonna, it's gonna be the same because how much can you write in like that many books of like, with it being those long of series? It's different if it's like a 5 series and then a 4 series and then maybe a long one like an 8 or a 9, right? And that like, but to have 21 books, it's like how much more can you really change it up? So
yeah, that is the only series that I've been willing to drop in the last year and some change. Because I've been kicking myself ever since I started building my library. I've never finished a series. I would buy all of the books because I would read the first one and like it so much that I want the rest. Yeah. And then I would buy them all and not read them. That's why like we're reading Throne of Glass together because I read the first 2 and then I was like, bye. Gave up on it. Maybe there was a reason.
I know. But no, well, you're going to hate me anyway because I've already like not finished a couple of series that we started together.
Yeah.
So.
I know. She's leaving me. I have to leave her. I gotta go struggle bus with Flock and
Well, you know
my
what
fault.
it is? I know with Flock is like, I already kind of know the spoilers.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, do I even really care when I hated the first one so
Yeah.
much? And then.
And I heard the third one is also just as
Yeah.
bad. I hear that the best two from that series is the second one and the fourth one.
Yeah.
And the first one is okay, and the third one is the worst one.
And
So it's kind of just like
yeah.
great,
And
cool.
I didn't even like the first one. So
Yeah.
if the third one's considered the worst, then I'm
Yeah. They were the
I'm out.
people were not pleased with the third story
yeah.
and how they took Dom's direction.
Yeah.
So I'm like not looking forward to finishing those either.
Yeah.
And that and My Fault,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
we talked about last episode.
Yeah. Yep.
But okay, back to our little likes and dislikes list. What was your most likely to read again book?
So I put Sin 2
Mhm.
because I've honestly, I feel like once we finish all of S.J. Tilly's, I'm just gonna start again at the beginning or
We're
something.
gonna have nothing.
I know, because I need more. I need more from you,
I know.
S.J.
I'm so excited that she has one coming out soon, but
Very
then
excited.
what?
I
Then we
know.
gotta wait longer for another
know.
one. Like you dropped that you're gonna be dropping this one soon, and we're just like,
Yeah.
yay! But like, girl, you need to drop
I
like
need
3 in a year.
I need a lot. Like
3 in a year, back to back. Like,
yeah. So I did that one, and then I also did Lotus because I loved it so much.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was your favorite out of Still Beating and Lotus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Still Beating, I loved it when I read it. So like I feel kind of bad that it kind of got pushed aside,
Yeah.
but I really did love it. But Lotus, just reading it after, it was like so good. It was so good.
I know. I'm trying to clear up some of my series so I can
You need to get
to
you
it,
need to
but
get in this series.
the amount of series I have right now
Yeah.
is just baffling.
Yep.
My most likely to read again, Listen to. I loved Angelo.
I know. I
have
him.
never loved a male main character like I
No.
loved him, and we've had a lot of great male characters
Really
like Lyson.
though, yeah.
But Angelo, excuse me.
Woo! Angelo is like husband material.
Yeah,
like,
he's forever material. He's
Yeah.
what you want forever.
right.
He's just the best.
Yeah.
He's the fucking best. And then my other one was The Revenge of Seven. I have reread the first 4 I Am Number 4 books so many times, and now that I finally read book number 5, I'm so upset with myself that I didn't finish it faster. And I do have 2 more to finish out the first series and then get to all the other parts of the series, but I'm so mad at myself because this one was so good, but it was the trauma.
Yeah, that's valid.
My favorite character is dying, damn it!
Right.
It's the trauma. I can't keep falling in love with characters for them to freaking die.
I know. I have that problem. I fall in love too easily.
Yeah.
Just me. I need to be prepared for whatever comes my way.
I can't.
Yeah.
If one more of my favorite characters dies in one of these series, I'm throwing all my books out. That will be the end. I'm done.
Yeah.
Or I'm just not going to be attached to characters anymore because this is ridiculous. Newt died in Maze Runner. Trish died in Divergent.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Like, every time I fall in love with somebody, they die.
Yeah.
I gotta stop falling in love with them.
Yeah.
Like Cole.
But it's hard.
In the last letter.
I know. It's hard
It's
though.
bullshit. That was bullshit.
It's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
They're like so likable, so it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why they're likable, because they're gonna die. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. Authors, cough, cough. Get it together and stop doing this to me.
Yep.
Kill the villains. We're okay with that.
Right?
It will be. It will still make me cry. I'll still feel bad, especially if they have like a redeeming moment at the end.
Yeah.
But stop killing my favorite characters, please. Kill some other characters.
Kill
someone's least favorite, or like
someone else's side character or something. Yeah. Like enough where it like
not Cole.
Makes
no
you
more
sad.
Coles.
Well, yeah.
No more Coles.
Enough where it makes you sad, but like
kill a tertiary character, not a secondary character.
Right. Yep.
So depressing.
I know.
That's why I like give up on series so easily. I know they're gonna die. I mean, like,
you're just traumatized.
No, I like them too much. I can't do this. I gotta go.
Yeah.
What was your most recommended. I'm gonna guess it's your most liked, but what was your most recommended?
Yeah, so I put most recommended. I would say Lotus, and I also put Still Beating. I am going to read the other two. There's supposed to be two more for this series, so we'll see if it's just a great series altogether. But for right now, the two that I've read are the two I'm recommending. So both of them,
I
for
know.
sure.
She's like been drilling it into me the
I
last month. So
know.
if they don't live up to the hype, Miss Ma'am.
I know. I'm kind of nervous about it. Not gonna lie. Like, I don't want you to like pick it up and just be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Is she
like,
okay?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Granted, in the beginning of Still Beating, I was kind of like, okay, this is happening a little fast, and I don't know, like I don't really have I don't really love Cora, who's the girl main character in it. I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about her, and then you get into it, and you're just like, oh, okay, like what's gonna happen next? Like, so it takes a little bit, but
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
yeah.
My highly recommended to everyone who's watching or listening or whatever is Sin 2.
Mm-hmm,
If you like
mm-hmm,
smut, dirty
mm-hmm,
reading,
mm-hmm.
I recommend anything that SJ Tilly does. But Sin 2, he's up there. Out of all
I
of SJ's
know.
guys, he's up there.
I know.
He's right up there. My top 3 are King, Nero, and Angelo. So he's
Mine is
whew,
probably Daddy Axel from Latte Darling.
terrible.
Love him. Axel, Angelo. Yeah, probably King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is my favorite is King. But
For
you know,
me,
we'll talk
for
about
me,
that.
it's the second book men of the series, like because Latte Darling's the second,
Yeah.
Sin 2 is the second,
Yeah.
and King's the second. Like I just love
I love
whatever
King.
whoever she writes second. That's
Their
my
best
fave.
one, yeah. Ugh. I'm kind of sad that the Sin series is over. Like they just got 3 books.
I know.
She did say that Ty was gonna get one.
Yeah.
And I hope that maybe he's in the Sin series, in the Sin world, and maybe they get a second. But you know, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
So
I would love to see Ty's book, and also the other guy that makes an appearance in John's book. He's
yeah.
like Eric. I think he's like another bodyguard.
Yeah.
But I think they've mentioned him throughout the series.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, hey, if she wants to write another man, like, I don't mind if he's a bodyguard or her, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and then she announced one at the end of the alliance too. So we're kind of just like,
yeah,
just drop them all.
yeah,
Just drop them all.
I'm ready.
We won't say nothing if you want to just share them with us, okay?
Right, exactly.
We won't say nothing. What were your top 3 books?
So top 3, I put Sin 2, Lotus, and then I did put Crown of Midnight.
Really?
Actually. Yeah. I did like it. I thought it was
I did
really
too.
good.
It was good, except after HOF, the thunder for Throne of Glass is stolen.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So I did write these before I finished HOF, because like I just knew that HOF was not going to be on my most memorable.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just feel like Crown of Midnight, like you said, like that I loved it, and then it kind of just like fizzled out. With reading HOF and.
I unfortunately did not feel the same way about Crown of Midnight. I liked it, but it didn't touch my top 3. My top 3 were obviously Sin 2. I'm not gonna stop talking about Sin 2. If you guys got a problem,
right? Exactly.
Scroll to the end of the video because we're gonna talk about it some more. But Sin 2, and then my second favorite was The Revenge of Seven, obviously because I also won't stop talking about it. And then my third favorite was actually Beautiful Disaster. It was so good.
Yeah.
Their story was so freaking good. It kind of reminds me of After.
Okay.
But not as toxic. And that's good because we don't always need a toxic man.
Good.
We need, some healthy men. And Travis is a healthy man, okay? He knows what he wants and he loves her. And yeah, he does things wrong, which man doesn't?
Right.
But it's healthy and it's cute and I loved it.
I probably am gonna read that.
Yeah, the movie is good. The book is good.
Yeah.
Just please do me a favor. If you're gonna read one, read that one and Walking Disaster at the same time.
I know. I gotta see if they have like a tandem guide or something.
Yeah. If not, then I might make it. But there's just after reading Beautiful Disaster and then I got into Walking Disaster, I was just like, no.
Yeah.
No. Why? But that's okay.
So, for that series, do you think it is even worth reading the second book? Like, would you recommend? So if I was to read it, would you say like read them in tandem, or you'd say just read the first one and you kind of get the gist of the second?
Um, it depends. If you
Yeah.
like dual point of views, I guess read the second one. I don't think the second one is needed.
Yeah. Like
It's
it would have
cute
been, yeah, it would have been.
to get his POV, but maybe if I read them in together at the same time, to get them at the same time, it wouldn't feel like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But that's what the story is. It's literally her point of view and then his point of view
Yeah.
from one book to the next, and it's kind of just like, damn. I wish I
Yeah.
knew that before I started, because then I would have tandemed it.
Right.
But if you're gonna
Right.
read them solo, I wouldn't recommend reading the
Just
second
read
one.
the first one
Just
and
skip to the
yeah,
third one after.
got you.
What is your most memorable book?
I put Still Beating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's gonna stick with you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, the thing is, like, with Still Beating, so the main characters are Cora and Dean, and Cora is the sister of Dean's girlfriend. So they don't really like each other. They've never liked each other. They're like they bully each other, whatever. But they actually end up getting kidnapped together.
Mhm.
Is how the story starts, and then the story goes into like how they survive being kidnapped together, and you kind of see their relationship develop into something different. And then this isn't really a spoiler because but they get free, and then it kind of goes the rest of it goes through like how they acclimate back to the world and all that type of stuff, and just like their relationship and how they process trauma separately together, how they did it right, how they did it wrong. It was so good.
It was
It
worth
was
it.
yeah, it was really good.
Would you recommend it to someone who's gone through certain things in their lives, or would you recommend that they stay far away from it?
um I think it depends on what people are okay with reading on page,
Yeah,
because it does get a little graphic in
yeah.
the first. So she breaks it up into parts. So there's two parts. So the first part is them kidnapped and in the basement being kidnapped, and then the second half is them escaping. And the first half there are some like graphic bits, some trigger warning stuff. So I mean, I would say it just kind of depends person to person on how if how they find those sorts of subjects triggering or not.
Yeah.
So
And these
yeah.
are one of the very fine examples of what is important for books to have a trigger warning,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
was telling me about it and I'm like
Yeah,
um
right.
yeah,
And it like starts off, you know what I mean? It doesn't really
just
like
jumps in.
right. It jumps like first chapter. I'm pretty sure they get kidnapped in the first chapter.
Yeah.
Like they get kidnapped right away, and then it kind of goes right into it. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I had read the first part, and that kind of stuff doesn't bother me, but I even still kind of took a couple days in between. Like I read the first part, took a couple days, and then went back to it, like knowing that they had escaped. Like okay, like that part is done with. I can go back and finish it.
Yeah.
So it just depends on
Yeah.
person to person, but
Mental health is important.
yes, check
So
those trigger warnings, especially if
yes.
you are gonna read Still Beating.
Yes.
Yeah, check the trigger warnings for
Trigger
sure.
warnings, mental health.
Yes.
Be aware of what you're reading,
Yeah,
please.
definitely.
And then before we get into our favorite book, I want
Mhm.
us to give you guys our ratings for all of the books we
Yep.
read, since we
Mhm.
kind of skipped over that.
Yeah.
So the first book you read that you have.
So Air of Fire. So I gave Air of Fire a 3.5.
Oof.
Yeah, it did not rate very well
Yeah.
for me.
Our lowest one so far
Yeah,
for her.
my lowest one out of Throne of Glass so far.
Yeah.
From a lot of the reasons that we talked about. It starts off really slow. The first like 300 pages, you're just kind of you're not really getting much.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of filler, and especially knowing how many books we have left.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we really need
Yeah.
to have all this filler? Does it really have to be, as long of a series? So yeah, I gave it a 3.5.
I actually also gave it a 3.5, but
Yeah.
for me it was, yeah, it was slow, it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
But the world building. The
Yeah.
world building, if you're gonna world build for 300 pages, please make it so we can understand what you're building. Because
Yeah.
I honestly don't have a goddamn clue what's going on still.
Yeah.
She's talking about all these houses and all these places and all these kingdoms. It honestly feels like there's kingdoms everywhere. There's a
Yeah.
kingdom every freaking
Yeah.
huh,
Mhm.
where are we? What like I'm
Yeah.
lost. I'm so confused.
I
And then
know.
there's a prince here and a prince there and a prince over there, and they're all related. She's all
Yeah.
related to everybody,
Yeah.
and that's her cousin, and that's her distant cousin, but that's also my cousin, and
Mhm.
that's kind of gross, especially since she's kissed some
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like,
I know. This
uh,
one took like that was the other thing. I feel like if it was 300 pages of filler, but like better understandable, it probably wouldn't have felt as dragging. Like
yeah,
I read, you would read like we break it down by like page numbers, so
yeah.
I think we read like 100 pages a day, and it would take me
It took
so
so long.
long to
Yeah,
get through those 100 pages. And like I'm not a fast reader by any means, but I'm faster than that.
yeah.
Like
It took us so long. We would start after we got out of work, after we got out of the
yeah,
gym, after we ate and like got home to relax a little bit. We would not go to bed until way after like our normal
it was like
bedtime. It
hours.
was a struggle.
Hours.
It was a
Yeah.
struggle bus. And
Yeah.
it kind of sucks because we loved Akatar, the whole
Mhm.
series. I mean,
Yep.
minus book 4, 3.5.
3 more days.
But we were just like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
And then the first two of Throne of Glass, we loved them.
Yes.
We thoroughly enjoyed them.
Yeah.
So this one was just like,
Yep.
what the hell happened? Did somebody else write it? Like,
I know.
it didn't feel like typical SJM, and like the world building itself was just all over the
Mhm.
place.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
my rating for my first book, Beautiful Disaster, is
Mhm.
actually a 4.5. I
Wow.
loved it.
Okay.
There were only some parts where I was just like, okay. And there was only one character, Sherpley, who I just was like annoyed with. That was like my only defect with this book. I just
Okay.
didn't like Sherpley.
Yeah.
He was just unnecessary for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. We needed other characters, but
Right.
he didn't have to be a mega douche. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
All right. So next one I had was Crown of Midnight.
Loved it.
I loved it. I gave it a 4.5.
A 4.5?
Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely did. I mean, granted, like now I'm kind of like reeling back to like what my
Yeah.
main points of why I love this, but um yeah, I mean I loved it. It broke my heart a
Yeah.
little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
with Nehemia. No spoilers. Um, but yeah, so it like kind of broke my heart, but I loved it,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I thought it was really good. I
That
like this
book
one
broke my heart a few
a few
times.
times. Yeah,
I gave it a 4.52. It broke my heart with Nehemia. It
yeah.
broke my heart with KL and Selena's
I
breakup. But
know.
it
I
also broke
know.
my heart with Archer because she knew Archer for so
Yes.
long. For
Yes.
her to be done dirty by Archer, it broke
I
my
know.
heart.
I was not expecting that either.
Yeah, I
That
was
I was
just
not
like,
expecting.
and then when she's finally gonna let him go free, he like throws it in her
I
face.
know.
And he's just
Yep.
like, ah, ha, ha, yeah, you ain't shit. And she goes, ah, ha, ha.
Okay, bye.
Like, and he like,
Yeah.
he fucked around and found out pretty
Yeah,
much.
he
But
fucked around and found
that
out.
book broke my.
I
I have
know.
ugly sobbed so much
Yeah.
in the last month and a half by reading, and this was one of them.
I know.
Nehemia's death being on purpose, and there. First of all, she knew she was gonna die. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Why did your last conversation with Selena have to be the last conversation you guys had?
I know.
That sits. It
I
replays in her head
know.
so much from that book
Yeah.
to Air of Fire. It hurts
Yeah.
my heart.
I
Like, I
know.
hate that for her.
I
She's such a
know.
good character, Selena and Nehemia, and for that to be their last conversation
And because you know
ruins
what
it.
it is too is I feel like, well, I kind of know,
Yeah.
but we'll say I feel like that Selena still would have been just as impacted by her
Yeah.
death, regardless of if their last conversation was a good one or the one that happened.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like she still would have been impacted. We still would have gotten the same like fierceness from her, like getting all of this from Nehemia's death. So like it
And
kind
the
of did
promise she made.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I feel like she still would have like made the promise. I feel
Yeah.
like she still would have been impacted, and then it's like I just feel like the last conversation didn't have to
Yeah.
be that.
I agree.
You
Because either
know?
way, she made that promise beforehand to save Iloe, or however you
Right.
pronounce it,
Right.
and Nehemia's people.
Yeah.
That she like, it felt like a stab in the heart when she said that
Right.
to her. And then
Yeah.
she died. There was no fixing it. And Selena ran the whole way home.
No closure. No
Nothing.
closure. I
And
just
then
got
when
chills.
she summoned her,
Yeah.
she was like, "Don't summon me again, bye."
I
It was
know.
depressing. It hurt my
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
But I also gave it a 4.5.
Yeah.
It was so good.
4.5.
The story was so good.
Yeah.
My next book, my reading, I bought Ice Planet Barbarian just as like something to hold up while I talk about the honeymoon one.
Yeah.
Ice Planet Honeymoon, I ranked them a 2 out of 5. It was unnecessary.
Tough.
It was cute. The sex was great. Sorry, Mom. But ooh, it was just look at how big this book is. This is one couple.
Right.
There's 21 of these guys. There's 21. So for this to be this long, and then for me to have to read 4 more novellas after after the first 4 books, there's a novella after every one. So it's this one, then a novella, the next book, then a novella, then the next one. That's just too much. And there's 21 books, and there's a novella for almost every book.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Love the sex though. Little blue people, you know. They have tails and horns. Like,
yeah.
what could you not like about that? Unless you don't like that, but
yeah.
Our next book.
Oh yeah, you want to do that one next?
Is Sin 2.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Yep.
Obviously. I can't shut the fuck
It
up.
got a 5 out of 5 for me.
It also got a 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
Angela was just something else.
I know.
He's husband material. He's what you want. He's what you need. Even if you don't
Really?
think so. Even if you don't want to be affiliated with mafia type people. He's what you want. He's what you need. And he's what you wish for if you ever get kidnapped.
I know. Oh, yeah. I love everything about him.
If you're dating him, you probably will be. But
I know. I just like
he's perfect.
He really is. He's perfect.
He's those rare men where you propose to him.
I would.
You propose to him. Like, you don't sit there and wait for him.
I would literally meet him and be like, when are we getting married?
And
like,
look at the cover.
I know.
Yeah.
SJ
knows what she's doing. She picks the covers accordingly. She picks the men accordingly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I could never get over
Angela.
Angela will be in my dreams and in my heart for the rest of my life.
I know.
And if I ever need a book boyfriend to give me closure, I'll come back to Angela.
I know. I'm so happy that we discovered her.
I know. You were Smokey Darling or Latte Darling.
Right?
We never got over it.
Yeah.
So she needs to pick it up, baby. Pick it up, SJ, please.
Nope. I read Latte Darling and I was never the same. And I was like, I need to read everything she's ever written.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Her and Nikki.
Yeah.
Our next one was Miss Sin.
Yep. So this was the 3rd book in the series. And this was with, I know, sadly. This was with John, who is the brother of the girl from the first book, and then Nora. And I gave Miss Sin, I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah. I think it can get a 3.5 for me. Yeah.
I gave it a 3.5. It wasn't as good as the first one, or definitely not the second one.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with it was the ending. Like, why is she fucking all of a sudden Katniss Everdeen? Nora has never had not one capability of any strength whatsoever. And then at the end of the movie, she's fucking Katniss Everdeen, fucking archering people, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How did you? What the hell? It was just like a total. Whoop.
Yeah.
It was an access flip. Whoop.
Yeah. For me, I liked her in the beginning, like when she was like starting to kind of like learn, you know, like come out of her shell, like, you know, try to like be a bolder, braver person. So I liked that. For me, it was I was kind of sitting there waiting for her to get kidnapped.
Yes,
and it never happened.
That's our problem, though. That's an us problem.
It is a me problem. So I will give you a 3.5. Even though, I was waiting for her to get kidnapped. I was like, towards the end, I was like, okay, the FBI agents in the elevator, they're not actually the FBI.
Yeah.
She's going to get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Nope. Then I was like, she's going back to get her car. The receptionist is in the parking garage. She's going to get kidnapped. Nope. So, like, I was kind of, like, expecting it.
Or she's home alone, crying. She's going to get kidnapped.
Yeah.
She's on her way to her dad's house. She's going to get kidnapped.
Right.
Never happened. And you know what? That's our fault.
I know.
That's our fault. We're crazy, obviously.
Yeah.
But we were waiting for it.
I was waiting for
it. All of her other books had it. So we were just like, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It didn't happen.
Well, and the other thing, too, is, like,
till the end.
With a lot of her books, she kind of does the same, like, format of, like, you still kind of gotta wait till the end for the kidnapping. So like you are kind of like anticipating it, and then this one didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
I think that for us,
yeah,
it just kind of tripped us up at the end. So we
yeah,
were there, we were there, we were there. And
yeah,
then the whole ending was just not what we were expecting.
yeah,
Plus her being Katniss fucking Everdeen. It
yeah.
was just like,
And he had to follow Angelo, so like I kind of feel bad for him on that
yeah,
one.
yeah. Angelo should have been
But
last.
but I did love when he showed up at her house
Yeah.
when he was
When he
like
was
he got
drugged.
drugged and
Yeah.
like was still able to find his way there and like
He
find
made
her.
it there.
Yeah, made it there. Thought enough to like leave the cart far away so
Yeah.
she didn't get tracked. So yeah, I mean that was cute. So but yeah,
But yeah, the vet part.
that one.
It was good.
Yeah.
Just not as good as the other one.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
My next book is Harry Potter 3, The Prisoner of Azkaban, when we're first introduced to Sirius Black. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. Good, good, good.
So good.
That's
The only
good.
thing is that like it takes so long to get to school. Why? I don't need 5 chapters before we get to school. All this stuff happens at school.
Yeah.
Besides, like obviously in this one movie when like Sirius Black, when he escapes,
Yeah.
when Sirius Black escapes, that's a tongue twister, bro. When Sirius Black escapes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Mhm.
That was it. Like it just took too long. The book is too long. This doesn't
Yeah.
need to be this big, and this is one of the smaller 3. And I'm on the Goblet of Fire right now. Oh god, struggle bus. It's just too long.
Yeah.
I'm not even at school yet in the Goblet of Fire. I've been reading it for 4 days, so
Yeah, it's tough.
struggle bus. But I gave it a 4. It was beautiful. Sirius's
Yeah.
letter at the end made me cry because obviously, if you don't know by now, Sirius dies soon. So it's kind of just like, damn, Harry could have had a good life with his godfather, and Sirius loves him so fucking much.
Yeah.
And the fact that Sirius never gets proven innocent also is bothersome. He lives out his whole life pretty much guilty, stuck in Azkaban. No one wants to be in Azkaban
Yeah.
as an innocent man
Yeah.
when the person that was guilty gets to go free. It just
Mhm.
it breaks my heart to know. Just to know what's coming next. So I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, that's valid.
Your next one.
Okay, so my next one, still beating. So this is by Jennifer Hartman. I gave it a 4.5. So this would have been a 5, but kind of the things that I discussed earlier, I didn't really love Cora's character at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I did kind of find her like annoying.
Yeah.
Like she just, like I get it, you don't like Dean, but it was like everything was just like, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him.
Was she like that when they were like still kidnapped and stuff?
No. So it was
like
it was
before?
like right in the beginning. And then once they got kidnapped, it was kind of like, so it's kind of crazy. The guy that kidnaps them, he kidnaps people in pairs. And he kidnaps a boy and like a female and a male that are not dating. And his kidnapping name was called like the matchmaker after they, find him.
Oh Jesus.
So he basically like kidnaps people that are not together, and pretty much through the traumas and things that he puts them through when he kidnaps them, most of the time they fall in love, and then he kills them in front of each other. Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so that's why there's a lot of trigger warnings.
Jesus.
But yeah, so obviously like they kind of don't have that same, like they kind of grow feelings for each other throughout the time that they're kidnapped.
Okay.
Because of the
And they knew each other beforehand?
Yeah, so the main male character, was engaged to her sister.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
that's foul.
Yeah.
The guy, the murderer, he was just like, not on my watch, bitch.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. There's a lot of that's why it's a good book. There's a lot of stuff going on, but yeah.
I'd be so sad.
Yeah, it has a happy ending, so
yay
you
for
kinda,
HEAs.
yeah, you kind of see like how they get through that and everything. But yeah, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Love the book. Sounds a little crazy, but I love it.
I know, I'm gonna have to read it. My next one is not gonna come to any surprise when I give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Walking
Yeah.
Disaster, I just felt like you either have to tandem read it or just don't read it at all. You can skip it.
Yeah.
It's literally just the same book, but from his point of view. And you know what? Honestly, fuck it. Don't even read the first one. Read this one. Travis is daddy. He's bae. He's like Harden. And if you love Harden
Mm.
and want a less toxic version of Harden,
Love Harden.
this man.
Love Harden.
This man. This man got tattoos of her before they even were officially together. While they were best friends.
We love
Picked
to
out
see
a
it.
ring for her before like a week into their relationship. He already knew. He's like, this is the one. This is a
We
man.
love to see it.
This is a man. Okay, I'm not saying you need to marry him, but he's a.
I'm gonna have to read. I'm gonna read
Yeah, I don't
for
know.
sure.
He's worth it, but he's not like read it solo worth it. You either read this one and don't read
Yeah.
Beautiful Disaster, or you tandem read them.
So which one do you think the first one regardless read it
Yeah,
instead of reading his? Yeah.
because that's what the book is. The
Yeah.
movie is based off of this book.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna watch the movie, you kind of want, and you like doing the movie adaptation kind of
Right.
thing, you want to read the
You
one
want to
that
read
it's
the
based
one,
off
yeah.
of. Now, if they did a movie based off of him, which they should, but they won't because it's just the same fucking movie.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
him. It was so good. Except it would have been better if I just didn't read them in the same month.
Yeah,
That is all.
that's true. That's true.
That
Don't
is
read
all.
them back to back.
Don't read them back to back or tandem read them because I didn't know at first that I thought it was like a whole new
Right.
plot. I didn't realize
Right.
it was literally the same plot.
Like pick up where the other one left off or something.
Yeah, I
right?
thought
Yeah.
that was what it was gonna be
Yeah.
because the novella that I read was Mrs. Maddox. It was after they got married, and I'm like, okay, there's a novella or a small book called Wedding Disaster that is the next one. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, sure. It just doesn't make sense. Like the
Yeah.
storyline and all the novellas.
Yeah, why is the wedding after
the novella?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense right now.
Yeah.
So like there's this first novella that I can't find. It's called Abernathy. I think it's about Abby's dad.
Okay.
And then there's Beautiful Disaster and Walking Disaster that you should probably tandem. I'm not going to say this any more times though because I've said it 100.
Yeah.
And then there's a novella called Mrs. Maddox. And then there's the Walking Wedding or whatever Wedding Disaster. And then there's Almost Beautiful last. And that is a whole new plot. That's with the FBI and all that stuff. But it doesn't like from the first book to the third book, it makes no sense the order they're going in. Well, yeah, if you want a clusterfuck of information, I guess read the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to their wedding book, even though I did read Mrs. Maddox already, and I am looking forward to the last one with the FBI.
One. Yeah.
Because the epilogue for that one, the last book is in this one, which doesn't make any sense.
What?
Doesn't make any sense. And then the wedding one is also in Mrs. Matt. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna read them anyway because I'm not gonna give up. Okay, I only got 2 books left. There's no point in giving up.
Yeah, might as well finish it out.
So it sounds like a clusterfuck. I may have explained it wrong, but it definitely is a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So we only have a few more books left to discuss, and then we'll get into our favorite book of the month.
So my next book is Lotus.
Bum, 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 bum.
5 out of 5. No question about it. 10 out of 5. I love this book. I love this book so much. This was a lot less like triggering than that one, I promise. This one, so at the end of Still Beating, this doesn't really go for the plot of Still Beating too much, but they see on the news that this guy is found after he's been kidnapped for 22 years. So he was kidnapped as a young child. Nothing bad happens to him when he's kidnapped, I promise. Okay. So you don't have to worry about that. But so this book kind of goes into like how he acclimates back into the real world. And then there's his childhood best friend that still lives on the same street as his brother. And they were like best friends growing up. And so she still lives there, and it kind of goes through like him adapting to new life, them kind of re-sparking their friendship, and then obviously, their love for each other. And it's just great. Like he's just such a pure soul, and like I just want to like hug him. Like, you know what I mean? Like and that's why it's like the book boyfriend, like he's just such a great character. And like it's kind of funny because this takes place in modern times. So like obviously being kidnapped for 22 years, there's things that you don't really understand about the world, like how different it was from when we were 7 to now. Like, so I just yeah, it was really good. I love it.
Was he kidnapped by chance by the same person, or it doesn't like it's
No.
the same like kind of thing, like trope, but it's just different
Yeah,
people?
so he was kidnapped by someone different. You don't find out why this person kidnapped, like you don't find out the motive until the end of the book.
Okay.
And it's really good. Like it's just like it was something that like you didn't even expect as to being the reason and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Um so yeah, the only way that this connects is from, like I said, on the news when they see that
Yeah.
he was found. And then also a character from the first book makes an appearance because they are in the same town, which is, kind of like
Yeah. That's crazy.
a
A lot of
little,
kidnapping and
yeah,
murdering in one
yeah,
town, but
yeah.
okay.
But so like the one of the girls who was in this book is makes an appearance in this book.
Okay.
And then actually the next book in the series is about that girl and someone else. So
I feel like if you do want to make a series of books that connect that don't actually connect, that's the way to do it.
right,
Because we read so many
right,
times where a solo book is actually a series.
right,
Like All of the Deal, they're solo books.
right.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're a series.
Hmm.
They're not standalones, they're series. Or like all of Katie Robert, all of those books connect. I don't know.
Right.
You don't need to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Like
That's a way to do
if
it.
I had picked this book up before Still Beating, I would have been able to read this book and be
Yeah.
completely fine.
That's the way to do it.
So, which
Yeah.
is why I totally thought that Still Beating was a solo book
Yeah.
until the end
I know.
when this one showed up, and it was like, oh, read the spin-off of the kid that got kidnapped 22 years ago. And I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know that there was more. And then I read this one, and at the end it was like, read more about Tabitha, who's the girl from like this book and this book. And I was like, how many are there? Like,
That's the way to
but
do
yeah,
it. It's connected, but it's not connected, but it's connected. And
right.
That's
Yeah.
like really important for
Yeah.
standalones
Yeah.
that are connected.
Yeah.
And then my last book, I gave it a 5 out of 5.
5
It
out of
was my
5.
second 5 of the month.
Or
I
ended up
finished it.
strong.
I loved it. It's Marina's Revenge. So like I am
Yeah.
number 4 is obviously about John. The Power of 6, we're introduced to 6. Is The Rise of 9, where we get to see 9, who's Daddy. And then this one is The Revenge of 7.
Mhm.
It's her revenge, okay? Like she gets to
Yeah.
the emotions in this one. She obviously wants to kill number 5, who unfortunately kills number 8, protecting number 9. It's a whole ordeal, okay? They need real names. I'm sorry, but that's their names: 5, 8, 9, 7, 1, 2. All of the numbers, okay, from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
But she develops this legacy at the end of the last one where she
Mhm.
freezes things. And so she's like, as she's coping with her grief for number 8, she's like freezing people by accident, numbing people's hands. And when you're cold, like your fingers turn blue, your lips turn blue. That's what she's kind of doing to people. And number 6 has the power of invincibility, but the only way she can make others invincible is if they hold her hand. So she's kind of like walking around with number 7, and she's like freezing her hand off the whole time. And it's just so funny, and it's so cute, and it's like her grief. Number 8, we love you, okay?
5 out of 5, 10 out of 10.
5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. 7 out of 7. Revenge of 7.
7 out of 7.
It's so good. I loved it. But those are all of our books that we needed to discuss and give you guys our ratings.
Yep.
So the last things we're going to do is tell you our favorite book out of all of them. So,
yep.
What was your favorite book?
Mine was Lotus.
Of course.
Of course.
There are not enough things she can say about Lotus, okay?
I know. But yeah, I did write down a quote too. I wrote down a quote from Lotus just to kind of like explain like how like kind of what I was talking about of like his soul is so pure. So the first time that him and Sydney kissed for the first time, he said, "What does it feel like to you?" Or she said, "What does it feel like to you?" when they kissed. And he says, "Like every star in the galaxy tumbled to earth and crawled beneath my skin."
Oh,
I know.
I don't even know him and I love him now. Oh my
I
god.
know. And that just like shows like his soul is
He's just a
so yeah, his
baby.
soul is so pure and like it's amazing. So
My favorite book
10 out of 10.
was Sin 2. I'm never gonna stop being with Angelo in my heart, okay?
Right.
So our last topic for discussion is
Yep.
our TBR hopes
Yep.
for the month of May. We
Yep.
have a bunch of solo books that we're gonna read individually, and then we have a ton of books that we want to read together.
Yeah.
We have a very hectic work schedule this coming month and next month, and then we go on vacation. So we're kind of just trying to figure out what's best for us right now. So our goal right now is to do a bunch of audiobooks because we ain't gonna have no time to pick up a
Yep.
book. Besides all of our solo books, because Jesus.
Yeah.
So our shared books, we're gonna start
Mhm.
with Assassin's Blade. We're gonna get into book 1 or 0 of Throne of Glass,
Yes.
but we're reading it fourth.
Yes.
We decided to go on that approach.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm looking forward to reading it,
Yeah,
but
I'm skeptical.
everyone says it's so good, so we're
Yeah.
gonna hope for the best and plan for the worst.
Yeah. Yep. That's the way to do it now at this point.
Our second read is actually going to be an audio called In the
Mhm.
Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros.
Yep.
Sorry if I butchered your last name. She wrote Fourth Ring and she also wrote The Last Letter. And after what she did to us in The Last Letter, I'm
I
mentally and
know.
emotionally protecting my heart and
I
my well
know. I'm
being.
scared. I'm
If she murders one more person,
scared.
we're going to have beef.
And like it's a military book,
Yeah,
so
we're going to have
there's the
beef.
potential for that.
Military and politics.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
featuring Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a potential for some devastation.
And then we're going to switch focuses out of Throne of Glass series because we're going to be so busy. We're going to do some audios of Akatar.
Yeah.
Audible actually gave it to us for free.
Yes.
Audible. We got the dramatic versions
I
and the
know.
regular versions, but
I'm
we're going to try to do the
excited.
dramatic versions this time.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to
I'm
knock
excited
out
to try those.
books 1 through 3.5, which is Echo Fast, Frost and
Mhm.
Starlight.
Yep.
They only gave it to us for free for the month of May, so we gotta
I
read them
know.
all
We
in May.
gotta
We gotta
finish all
listen
of
to them.
them in May.
So we have high plans. That's at
Yeah.
least 6 books, and if we actually have time for one more, we're gonna try to do The Sweetest Oblivion.
Yep.
We have not read any of those books yet or anything by
Yeah.
her, so we're kind
That's
of
the
looking
first one
forward
in the
to it,
series.
especially with how much Book Talk has hyped it up. So we're kind
Yeah.
of hoping again for the best and planning for the worst
Yeah.
because Book Talk be doing something.
Literally.
They be trifling. So
Yeah.
we're gonna try to knock some at least 7
Yeah.
out. That's more than my goal for the month. So
Yep.
at least I'll be good.
Yeah.
What are some of your solo books?
So my solo books that I'm gonna read, the first one is gonna be the next one in this standalone series for Lotus. So it's called The Stars Are on Our Side. So I want to read that one.
That's a beautiful title.
I know, and this cover is so pretty too.
Ugh.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that one. I want to read American Queen by Sierra Simone.
Yes.
It's a series as well. I want to start that. It's the new Camelot series. So I'm gonna try
Ooh,
that
I love
out.
Camelot.
I know.
Ugh.
I know. So we'll see. I'm also gonna read Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's the same lady that wrote The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I feel like I didn't give her a fair shot when I read The Seven Husbands because I was in a book slump at that point in time. And this one sounds really cool, so I'm excited to try it. And then I'm going to read Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. It's a new book by her. I haven't read any Tessa Bailey, and I do have a decent amount of her.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try it out, see if I like it.
Yeah.
And
she's going to share with me if they're worth it or
yeah.
not. Otherwise, I will just cross them off my TBR because I have a lot of Sierra Simone and a lot of Tessa Bailey too. So if she tells me they're not good, then they're not good. That's how we roll, okay? If they're not good, they're not good.
Yeah.
And that's because we have similar reading interests and we like authors that write the same way. So
yeah. So I'm going to try that out. See how that goes. And then I want to potentially read Bait by Jade West, which I saw was really good on Facebook, so I'm skeptical.
Mhm.
And then my last one is I'm going to do an audio because I got another credit. My Audible has
Love audio
given me a new
sometimes.
credit. So I'm going to listen to For the Fans by Nyla K.
Okay.
And that one has been very popular. So
I've
we'll see
actually
how it
not
is.
seen that, so you're gonna have to tell me if it's
I'll
good or
let you
not.
know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, have a lot of books that I want to accomplish. My total amount of books for this month is 15 books. That's
Yeah.
freaking psychotic. I must be out of my damn motherfucking mind.
Yeah.
I have 8 solo books I want to read. I want to listen to The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
It's always been in my goal to read them. Um, if they don't live up to the movie hype, because I fucking love those movies, I will sit there and for
Yeah.
2 whole days and watch those movies. If they don't live up to the hype of the movies, I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'll be upset as much as I think I will be because those movies are so freaking enjoyable and so
Yeah.
good that I might
Yeah.
actually be okay if the movies are so good, like are much better than the books.
Yeah. That's valid.
But they better fucking be good. Otherwise, like, how did you make this amazing ass movie out of something so
Right.
trash? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then I also am trying to finish up some of my series, so I'm leaning towards reading the last 2 of Beautiful Disaster just so I can finish that series, get it out of my way, start a new
Mhm.
series, start fresh, maybe throw in some solos because I might need them.
Mhm.
I'm also trying to get through one more Harry Potter book. My nephew loves Harry Potter just like me, and we're kind of competing. He's 8 though, so if I lose to an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
what am I doing? I'm competing with an 8-year-old. Yes, I am. I love him very much. That's my baby. But that's in my TBR. I'm also gonna try to read I Am Number 4, Book 6, which is called The Fate of 10.
Okay.
I have 2 more books until the series is over, and it got so good at the end of the Revenge of Seven when all the Earth people now start getting powers, which is crazy. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of looking forward to that, especially Sam using
Mm.
telekinesis. I love me some Sam Goody. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that is all of my TBR. It is one hell of a TBR, but it's
Yeah.
my TBR, no doubt.
Yeah.
Whatever I don't finish this month will unfortunately be moving with me to June. So,
Yeah. We're gonna try. Try our
yeah, I
best.
have a lot to read going into May, so let's all hope for the
I know.
best.
Me too. Me too. I'm trying. That's like my minimum that I want to finish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That is my maximum. Okay, if I read anything more than that, I'm
Yeah.
out of my damn mind.
Yeah.
I might throw in some more audios just because since we have so much time not being
Yeah.
able to actually read physical books,
Yeah.
picking up an audio might do some good. But a lot of these books I don't have. I used my Audible credit already for the month, so I'm kind of SOL. I
Yeah.
used it on The Fate of 10, which is on my TBR, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm gonna
But
listen
I'm
to
not gonna
For the
pay.
Fans.
I'm
That's
not
gonna be.
gonna
I
pay
use
for
my
Harry
credit.
Potter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harry Potter, each audio for Harry Potter is $30.
Yeah.
I'm not that crazy. I'm not
The
that
paperback
delusional.
for the fans was like $20. So
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
it's crazy. So that is our
Mhm.
April wrap up video, everybody. We hope
Yep.
you enjoyed our content today, and we hope that you will like or comment or subscribe. And if you have anything you want to ask us, just throw it down in the comments.
Yep.
Our next video will be book tropes and book acronyms. We're gonna start discussing some of like the things that we talk about. I know acronyms. We're throwing out a bunch of them,
Yeah.
TBR and
Yeah.
HEA, and we're gonna give you guys an episode on what
Yeah.
all that means.
Without further ado, I'm Courtney and this is Ashley and we're Book Bliss and Chicks. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.